man, I take a week off, right? And I go on a cruise, have a blast, and I come back, and oh my God, is there so much video game news to cover? And of course, the first thing we're going to be talking about is Contra Operation Galuga. And I guess you could say it's Galuga. It's not really clear, actually, but either way, it's an island that was based off where the original Contra was. So if you played the original Contra and you're looking at the old red and blue guys running from left to right, mostly fighting aliens. By the way, those red and blue guys were Bill Rizer and Lance Bean, and they're featured prominently here on the cover of the webpage. But either way, Contra took place on that island, right? And the whole idea was in the future, way, way in the future, like in 2600 AD, an army of aliens attack. The army was known as Red Falcon. And it's up to these two dudes to basically go off and destroy every single thing along the way. So that's where the name comes from. But the game is obviously not that. It is a reimagined, reloaded, and reborn. Now, Konami as a whole has been kind of absent from the gaming world, so it's nice to see that they're kind of sort of coming back. And retro is in. Retro has been in for a very long time. We've seen a rise of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, which my gaming senses go just nuts for. I freaking love beat-em-ups. So I'm happy that we are starting to see a revitalization of the genre. And now Konami's like, hey, yeah, well, let's get that run and gun going again. Sure. So here you have it. This was announced on the Nintendo Direct a few days ago, probably about a week late now by the time I get around to recording this and uploading and all that good stuff. But it's a reimagining of the Nintendo port or the arcade game. There were slight differences. I won't go into too much detail, but there was some differences between the two that came out way back in the 1980s. But now this has been modernized. New graphics, new sound, new stages, new enemies, new bosses, new mechanics, new co-op with up to a story mode with 2 players or an arcade mode, 4-player mode. And there they are, good old Bill Rizer and Lance Bean as they once again battle with that super evil Red Falcon group. And here's some pictures, and we're going to take a look at kind of what this game is, and I am beyond excited for it. As I said, you got the classic running gun gameplay. There's some better photos we'll look at here in a moment. Some of the new weapons and the features with upgrades now. Recall that most people probably use the spread gun, the spread shot, which shot those red orbs kind of that scattered across the map. I was always a laser guy. But now it says they have stackable upgrades. So they're taking some of the elements of modern gaming, of getting the same item, and maybe the spread shots will have bigger shots, or they'll be homing, or they'll have flame rounds. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But you're going to have that with it. And I'm so excited for this game. Let's take a couple of screenshots here together, and then we'll go ahead and look at the video, a little bit of gameplay footage here. So I was not clicked off there. Please hold. So the first thing you'll notice is that they're taking a lot of snippets from kind of the original Contra. And with Super Contra, because you're able to grapple along things, you have those giant bugs that kind of fly around. Those have been synonymous with the game. Here you can see, looks like we got flamethrower rounds. That's the S and the F. And then the other guy, he looks like he just has the flame rounds. So you can see some spread shots going out there in the background, which is cool. Looks like you'll be able to toggle between 2 different weapons. So you're seeing a lot, like I said, of kind of the blend of the original Contra with Super Contra. Graphics look fine. I mean, I don't think this is going to like blow away anybody by today's standards. We're definitely not talking like, HDR ray tracing, like, 4K, 120 frame a second experience. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine for what the game is. No problem, I'm sure. You'll notice here in the corner, you see H2 and L2. So that kind of indicates some of the upgrades you can expect. And I remember this vehicle featured prominently. There wasn't a guy in the back of it, though, in the ice stage of the original Contra, where you kind of walked across left to right, and then this vehicle with these weird spikes came up behind you. Of course, now you're on a hover bike shooting backwards because why not? Here you can see just some of the madness, which is insane. Why is he fast forwarding? I'm not done. Some of the different enemy types look like some kind of distribution pod with enemies flying out. Looks like Bill is shooting off some sort of like small homing rockets. You see them kind of swooping up around. Looks like they're going to loop around and try to blow up some of these baddies here. This looks like a recreation of one of the factory levels where, again, these guys are just going ham on waves and waves of enemies. The infamous curl jump where you jumped and you got like a little somersault ball. Looks like that's making its return. Of course, it's going to be larger than life. When an enemy gets hit, they're going to explode and go flying backwards and detonate. I hope there is some more depth to the level. A lot of these Contra games were very one-dimensional, like just that 2D side-scrolling, and there's some very basic platforming. It would be nice if we get some destructible things in the background, or by shooting certain things, maybe pipes explode or something like that. That's just kind of more detonation in the background. I think that would fill in the scene a little bit better. Contra was always known for being insanely difficult, especially as you got into the later installments where it was basically just straight memorization of enemy patterns, but they were always known for their insane boss fights. And this boss fight here was the end of the waterfall stage. Definitely remastered. Looks like one of his arms has already been blown off, but he used to shoot these like red orbs at you, and he used to have two arms that flailed around. So you can see, looks like one of his arms has been blown off, and then you jump inside, and that leads you to the next level. Looks like they brought back the invincibility thing. You can see the outline of the kind of power-up box here. You used to shoot those, and an item would pop out. Looks like a spread shot's laying on the ground. Looks like he also has a bubble, which is great. Because he's probably about to get shot. Looks like there's an incoming round and he may be okay, but I'm sure his buddy's going to try to pick off the enemy before that happens. You may remember these things as well. These used to pop out of the level in the first, pop out of the ground in the first level or two. These have these kind of weird looking mechanical faces to them, and you could lay on your stomach and shoot them and they would shoot over your head. So lots of nods here to stuff that there's a factory level with those spikes coming down. Lots of nods to the original. And if you have ever played the original Contra, you're probably just looking at this and your nostalgia is just going nuts like mine. Just like, oh, wow, like I remember that enemy. Oh, I remember that scene. I remember that fight. And I'm really excited for this. They also included a quick little gameplay video. Go and take a look at here. Just to give you a little bit more of an idea. But this is a day one purchase for me. I cannot wait. It's by Way Forward. I should have mentioned that earlier. Way Forward has been absolutely just slaying it over the last few years. Really kind of a revitalization of the River City franchise with River City Girls, River City Girls 2, a lot of Ni no Kuni, Kunio, River City type stuff. So, they've just been doing a lot of really good work lately. So I'm happy that they're kind of taking the helm behind this, but lots of bright, vibrant colors. You can see, as I was mentioning, kind of a little bit more play on some of the 3D stuff. I think there's probably a lot of good lessons learned here from the River City franchise, kind of looks like there's even a dash now. You're getting some neat graphical effects. Looks like, lots of colors and vibrancy and just over-the-top action. That's what Contra was always known for, was for just, that insane run and gun. And obviously limited by the hardware of what the Nintendo could bring, but I'm incredibly excited for this. When the game comes out, I will be doing a full review on it, and I can't wait to get my hands on this one. I'll be getting it for the Switch. That's where I get most of my other stuff as well. A lot of my legacy stuff. I don't know if they released a date for this yet. I don't know if they have. I think I just read at some point 2024, but kind of day unknown. Looks like we can only wish list it right now. Let me just go to the Steam, the Nintendo page really quick just to see if we've gotten a date. I know this won't be a full price game. Yeah, early 2024. And I don't think this will be a full price game because, again, it's going to be just kind of that original sort of recreation. Looks like they've added maybe a few new levels if there's 8. I think the original Contra had 6 or 7. The waterfall stage is back, obviously. Enemy based on the hover cycle. The huge boss battles, the crazy over-the-top weapons, the explosions, all that kind of stuff. So super excited. I wanted to do a video kind of celebrating this and talking about it because it's important. It's important in our gaming history to remember our roots And remember that while, you know, we got great games out now, back in the day, and Contra was great for what it was. I don't know how well it's aged. You know, Bill and Lance taking down that nasty Red Falcon group. So I'll wrap up the video here. I'm super, super excited. More to follow on this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's good to be back. Until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.